The perfect casting choice can make all the difference to a movie or TV project. Conversely, there are sometimes completely obvious choices for roles that come together absolutely perfectly. Online communities adore throwing in their 2 cents when it comes to who should play what role. And we here at What Culture are no different, it seems. And so, with that in mind then, I'm Ellie with What Culture, and here are 10 actors perfect for upcoming movie roles. Number 10. Carrie-Ann Moss in John Wick Chapter 5. The John Wick franchise has cumulatively grossed a whopping $573 million worldwide from the first film to the third. The kick-ass Keanu Reeves action vehicle has also been critically well received for each of the heroes' outings, with praise being heaped on the performances, world-building, and exceptional fight choreography. John Wick Chapter 4 is up for release in early 2023, and given how increasingly lucrative the franchise has been for Lionsgate Studios and Keanu Reeves' continued commitment to the future of the role, a Chapter 5 for our troubled hero is all but confirmed. With this in mind, Carrie-Ann Moss would be perfect to play an as-yet unnamed part in this franchise entry. Moss herself garnered critical praise for her turn as ruthless lawyer Jerry Hogarth in Marvel's Jessica Jones, and whilst The Matrix Resurrections turned out to be an ultimately disappointing affair, it was heartwarming to see her reunited with her screen partner Reeves. Assuming Lawrence Fishburne's Bowery King isn't killed off during the events of Chapter 4, this casting would certainly tickle the teats of nostalgia. This is especially true given we were denied seeing the triumphant triumvirate reunited during The Matrix Resurrections. Number 9. Taron Egerton in Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. Plot details are thin on the ground for the upcoming animated sequel. Confirmed from the small teaser released at the end of 2021, we know Spider-Gwen will be making a return as Miles Morales' crime-fighting partner and potential love interest. Also confirmed to star is Oscar Isaac's meme-baiting Spider-Man 2099, also confirmed in the first film's excellent post-credits stinger. Given this sequel will see Miles' journey across multiple dimensions, we're likely going to see even more iterations of our web-slinging hero than we did the first time around. Enter Spider-Punk, a Cockney version of the hero and general pastiche of the Johnny Rotten punk rocker cliché. Who better to embody this humorous iteration than Eggsy himself, Taron Egerton, who proved himself a consummate Londoner in the Kingsman franchise. What with Spider-Punk also being a musician, Egerton fulfills the needs of that aspect beautifully. To put it lightly, the man's got pipes, lending his vocal talents to both the Sing movies and as Elton John in the Rocketman biopic. With Egerton's clear talent as a character actor, he would absolutely nail the musician side of the character as well as the rough-and-tumble Cockney side. Number 8. Michelle Rodriguez in Star Wars Rogue Squadron. Star Wars Rogue Squadron is yet another project we know little about. Set for release in 2023 and held by Wonder Woman's Patty Jenkins, the film will follow an entirely new cast of characters in an original story focused on a new generation of starfighter pilots. Further plot details along with casting decisions are yet to be announced, but given how well Star Wars Rogue One worked as a story unshackled from the central franchise's cumbersome genre expectations, here's hoping lightning strikes twice with this new offering. Given Michelle Rodriguez's storied history with the Fast and Furious franchise, it's a no-brainer she would be perfect for a role on a Star Wars film focused on similar vehicular mayhem. Known for playing a tough chick role across her many films, Rodriguez would be perfect for some kind of command position within the titular Rogue Squadron. Furthermore, Rodriguez's small but memorable role as Skye in the indie horror flick She Dies Tomorrow hinted at untapped acting chops above and beyond her so far great, if cliched, acting history. Number 7. Gemma Chan in The Three-Body Problem. The Three-Body Problem is an utterly terrifying trilogy of sci-fi books by Chinese author Liu Cixin recounting a war between humans and an aggressive alien race known as the Trisolarans. Given the trilogy's length and use of multiple timelines, it's safe to assume much of the first season will focus on the character of Ye Wenjie, the first contact of the Trisolarans amid China's Cultural Revolution. Gemma Chan impressed just about everyone with her turn as rogue android Mia on Humans and is now rightfully reaping the rewards. With burgeoning blockbuster success in the likes of Crazy Rich Asians, Raya and the Last Dragon, and Marvel's Eternals, Chan's career is looking better and better every year. Netflix's Three Body Problem will be an English-language adaptation of the work, but given the plot's inseparable ties to Chinese culture and history, the appropriate casting choices must be made. An actor with the talent of Chan is perfectly suited to the role. Number 6. Bradley Cooper in Indiana Jones 6. With Indiana Jones 5 currently set to release in June of 2023, much conversation has been made about lead Harrison Ford's advanced age and the future of the franchise as a result of this. Whilst the Crystal Skull movie was so disappointing that many fans don't even consider it in canon anymore, we are nonetheless excited to see Ford don the iconic fedora and whip potentially one last time. Given that Hollywood is generally one big feedback loop of nostalgia-fueled money-making, it's highly unlikely this will be the last we see of our grumpy, swashbuckling archaeologist. This can only mean one thing: reboot. Here is a role in which Bradley Cooper could easily shine. Not only does he have the same cantankerous energy that could match the role of Indy, but he also possesses the same physicality that Ford did in the first 3 movies. Further supporting the physical similarities, Cooper acquired a very Indy-esque fedora during the events of Guillermo del Toro's brilliant Nightmare Alley. Seeing the Hangover star in this iconic item of clothing only compounds the fact that he's the perfect guy for the job. Number 5. Michaela Coel in The Sandman. Set inside the DC universe, we follow Morpheus, Lord of Dreams, as he rebuilds his kingdom after being imprisoned by human occultists for many decades. Morpheus is a part of an immortal race known as the Endless. The last member is conspicuously absent from the cast list. With this in mind, we posit that Michaela Coel would be perfect for the character of Delirium, who is presumably set to appear in future seasons. Once known as Delight among the Endless, she suffered through a traumatic event that transformed her into the eccentric, unpredictable Delirium. And yes, in the comics, Delirium is represented by a childlike figure, though this incredibly layered character deserves the touch of a seasoned acting veteran to truly bring it to life. Given Cole's towering portrayal of trauma in her own show I May Destroy You, she has a good handle on sensitively playing such characters. Her comedic sensibilities, as displayed in E4's brilliant chewing gum, would also lend incredibly well to the more quirky aspects of the character. Number 4. Henry Golding in Bond 26. Before I go any further, just a major spoiler warning ahead for No Time to Die, so if you haven't seen that film, then maybe skip this section. With Daniel Craig's swan song Bond entry satisfying a majority of critics and audiences, it's still hard to forget that they only went and definitively killed off the beloved spy right in front of our eyes. No one would have been happier at this outcome than Craig himself, who has stated in no uncertain terms he resents the character and wished to stop playing him many times over the years. It does leave a giant question mark over who should next take the 007 mantle, with many rumours and fan castings pointing to the likes of Tom Hardy, Henry Cavill and Idris Elba. But we reckon Henry Golding would make for the perfect MI6 super spy. Showing us his suave credentials in the likes of Crazy Rich Asians, as well as presenting the necessary grit to play a deadly ninja in G.I. Joe's Snake Eyes, Golding would be a perfect and modern choice to take on the role of the man with a license to kill. Furthermore, it would make sense for the studio to cast someone relatively young for the role. At 35 years old, Golding is younger than most of the popular picks for the character and could ensure a long tenure in the position of the titular spy. And if they could bring back Ana de Armas's Paloma while they're at it, that'd be just swell. Number 3. Paddy Considine in The Fantastic Four. Paddy Considine has been a mainstay of British film and television for a few decades now, with memorable roles such as the vengeful Richard in Dead Man's Shoes, appearances in 2 out of the 3 Cornetto trilogy movies, and a skin-crawling turn as pervert priest John Hughes in Peaky Blinders. With all this incredible talent both in front of and behind the camera, it's frankly incredible he hasn't broken big in Hollywood yet. Given the movie industry's preference for casting British talent in villainous roles, Considine is perfect for the inevitable MCU version of Doctor Doom. The Fantastic Four has not had a great time when it comes to big screen adaptations, and that's putting it lightly. The 2005 effort, despite making enough bank to warrant a sequel, was an experience limper than Mr. Fantastic's CGI arms. To make matters worse, the initially promising Josh Trank reboot tanked worse than almost any other superhero film of that era. With a full MCU version of Marvel's first family confirmed to be on the way, who better to take on the dangerous layered character of Victor Von Doom than one of British media's most preeminent talents? Number 2. Pamela Anderson in Black Canary. The DCEU's Bird of Prey film, whilst a very slight box office flop, was generally well received by critics. Praise was levelled particularly at the cast and performances, with Margot Robbie's inimitable turn as Harley Quinn and Jurnee Smollett as Black Canary. A Black Canary spin-off film has been tentatively greenlit for release in 2023, with Smollett reprising her role as the titular Bird of Prey. Given that director CARRIE-ANN originally wanted Poison Ivy to appear in the still unconfirmed Birds of Prey sequel, the Black Canary solo movie seems like the perfect opportunity to finally debut the DCEU version of Ivy. With this in mind, Pamela Anderson would be the perfect stunt casting for the role. To put it lightly, Hollywood seems to have a major issue casting a woman over the age of 40 in roles such as these, a trend that is thankfully beginning to change, so casting Anderson would really throw down the gauntlet in reversing these practices. Furthermore, Poison Ivy is very much portrayed as an environmentalist. Given Anderson's real-life charity work in this field, it feels like a perfect union between actor and character. What with the recent release of Disney Plus's Pam and Tommy reigniting her profile among younger audiences, now would be the perfect time for a Pamela Anderson renaissance. Number 1. Harry Styles in Dune Part 2. One major character who was conspicuously absent from Dune Part 1 was Glossu Raban's younger brother Fade Rother. A physical threat in his own right and much more Machiavellian compared to his beastly brother, Fade is the favourite of Baron Harkonnen as successor to the house. It was theorised for a while that the character had been cut entirely to trim down the dense plot structure of the novel. Director Denis Villeneuve recently confirmed that yes, lovely Fade will be making a major appearance in the upcoming Part 2. One interesting and somewhat left-field suggestion has been One Direction alumni Harry Styles, and it's an incredibly good fit for the role. Fade Rother is meant to be the yin to Paul Atreides' yang, and given Styles and Chalamet's similar builds, hair and facial features, this kind of stunt casting would work rather well. What's more, Styles himself impressed naysayers with his small but memorable turn as Alex in Christopher Nolan's Dunkirk, as well as showing his gameness for more central roles in his surprise Eternals cameo. Let's just hope that Denis Villeneuve watches What Culture. And that concludes our list. If you have any other suggestions, then do let us know in the comments below. And while you're there, don't forget to like and subscribe and tap that notification bell. Also, head over to Twitter and follow us there, and I can be found across various social medias just by searching Ellie Littlechild. I've been Ellie with What Culture. I hope you have a magical day, and I'll see you real soon.